The following episode is explicit and is intended for mature audiences. Listener and viewer discretion is advised.
Hey everybody, it's Nathaniel Avila reporting from Dallas County, and I'm here with
Clara Avila, also reporting from Dallas County. Thank you. I'd like to introduce myself.
Step on my lines.
There's no lines.
So
you introduce yourself, I introduce myself.
What are we talking about today?
Today we are going to be doing a continuation of the non-canon plotline that we were talking about in our previous episode. And we are going to discuss
Sinsmas?
That's right. It was released just yesterday.
Yes.
So obviously we're going to get in on that.
So yeah, it was released yesterday. There's also the season 2 finale of Helluva Boss.
That is right.
And oh my goodness, it's a lot.
Yes. A lot of stuff happened in that episode.
Yeah, so I don't know when we'll get season 3. I think they might already be working on it. I know that Vivzy is doing Helluva Boss independently, so she doesn't have that A24 Amazon money.
Nah, that's
so
right.
That's why we only get an episode every month or 2 months.
Yep, which honestly, that's pretty good for a YouTube animated show.
Yes. What's your favorite YouTube animated show, Clara?
I don't watch a lot of them.
Mine is Helluva Boss.
So it's probably Helluva Boss, yeah.
Oh, I thought you would say something like...
Like what?
The circus thing.
Oh, Amazing Digital Circus?
Amazing Digital Circus.
I mean, that one's good too, but that one probably takes longer to produce.
Because it's 3D?
It's 3D animated, yeah.
And he's like, I'm a teeth guy.
Yeah, Kane is just teeth.
His name is Payne?
Kane with a C.
I was like, that's kind of odd.
No.
Okay, let's talk about Sinsmas.
Let's talk about Sinsmas.
So, after we left, last time on Dragon Ball Z, Stolas was stripped of his powers. He's super depressed.
Yep, that's right.
And he's now living with Blitz.
And Luna.
And Luna.
In the apartment.
In the apartment. He moved into Imp City in the Pride Ring. And none of the other imps like him. They think he's like part of the system, but they love Blitz now. So Androlphus is then informed of... Wait, no, that's wrong. Okay, on Sinsmas, which is supposed to be like a Christmas-adjacent holiday, a Christmas-coded holiday.
Yep.
In Hell.
Hell. Where the imps get to, I guess, embody their birth sin.
What's their birth sin?
So for Millie and Moxie, that's wrath.
Right.
And then I assume it's, different for anybody else.
Okay.
Depending on what ring they were born in.
Oh, that's what they were born. Because Luna was born in Gluttony. No, she was born in Sloth.
In the non-canon. We don't know where she was born in the canon.
Okay. And, but for you Christmas heads, don't worry. Christmas does make an appearance in this episode.
Very briefly.
So don't worry about it. Blitz, in an attempt to cheer up Stolas, tries to recruit him as IMP's new receptionist.
That's right, to give him something to do.
Yes. Or is he going to be like the new receptionist or like Luna's assistant?
I really don't know.
Because Luna, if Luna's not the receptionist anymore, what is she? Is she promoted to field agent? Like
she
assassin?
Might be promoted to field agent, yeah.
Promoted to assassin?
Potentially.
Okay. So Stolas tries to reinstate contact with Octavia, but can't reach her. Oh, and also...
Technically, he's not allowed to.
Right. Also, for those wondering, you do not figure out who the boss is in Helluva Boss in this season.
Just keep talking about the episode. That's really stupid.
Maybe we'll find out in season 3.
Already know who the boss is. You can't keep making this joke every single time. It's gonna get annoying.
Maybe we'll find out in season 3.
Whatever.
So Stolas he already tried to do that. So IMP is hired to kill her client's ex-husband, who started a new life with his lover and their daughters. But Blitz feels uncomfortable upon seeing the family celebrate Christmas. Yay! Christmas made an appearance together and cancels the hit. It's just like his situation.
Because it's two gay men.
Yes, it's just like his situation,
It's his
Clara.
situation.
It's just like him and Stolas and what's-her-face.
With an evil wife. And you're just trying to be who you are with the person that you love.
It's just like his situation.
It's just like his situation. You said that, and I agreed.
Yeah. Kind of on the nose, don't you think, Vivsy?
Well, sometimes you have to be.
Okay. So yeah, meanwhile, Octavia discovers his Stolas' secret stash of antidepressants, leading her to assume her father was feeling unhappy around her, like an idiot.
Such a teenage thing to do. She's
so
such
stupid.
a teenager.
That's such a stupid thing to think, but like.
I mean, like, I can understand why, but I mean, like, I guess in some twisted way, I can see how she would think, oh, my dad chose this guy over me, and he's taking these pills because he's forcing himself to, like, be happy with me around, and I'm not enough for him to be happy. But, like, girl, it's clear that he loves her.
She just doesn't love Stella.
He just doesn't love Stella.
And she's very diffusive.
She's equating that to he doesn't love her or their family, which, I mean, he doesn't love Stella, so I guess he doesn't love the family, but he loves her.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to really like the Goetia.
Yeah. It's,
well, maybe Visago, because Visago seems cool.
Visago seems pretty chill. But, yeah, it's very teen drama, which, I guess Octavia's a teenager, so.
It reminds me of that one, it's that one Ghibli film.
I mean, yeah, which Ghibli film?
I think it was when Marnie was here.
I never saw that one.
And the thing, I think, it was about this girl who I think she was adopted, and she found out that I think so. Or maybe it was her aunt or something. I'm not sure. I think she was adopted in some way, shape, or form. And I believe she discovered that her family was getting, like, checks from the government in order to, like supplement, like, for her foster care.
Yeah.
And when she saw that, she was like, oh, they hate me so much, they have to get paid to keep me.
Oh, no.
That was her logic.
Oh, no.
And so it kind of reminds me of that.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. But, I mean, it was clear that he was, like, trying to get in contact with her, and she saw the way that her mom was laughing at the fact that he was trying to call her and calling him stupid.
That's the best she got? It's just stupid?
Yeah, well, she was calling him mean stuff along with Androlphus. And why would you want your dad to stay in that situation?
I don't know.
I
mean, she is just a
kid. And I can see how it's like, oh, you're choosing your
gay lover.
Gay lover over me.
It's not bad because he's gay. It's bad.
It's bad because he's choosing someone else.
Yes.
But even in, like, that little sort of, like, fantasy that Blitz had, where he's, like, they're enjoying, like, Sinsmas together. Mm-hmm. Octavia was there in that little fantasy. Like, he wanted their family to be together, to be a family together with Stolas, Octavia, and him and Luna.
Right.
So it's clear that Blitz is aware that Stolas loves his daughter. So right. I guess we'll have to see how that'll shake out in the next seasons.
Right. Okay, so now when Stolas tries to visit her, he is stopped by Androlphus, and the two get into a fight.
That's right.
IMP comes to Stolas' rescue, and Octavia breaks up the fight, not wishing to see Stolas hurt, but renounces her father for choosing Blitz over his family.
Which is brutal.
Yeah, and we talked about that. So in this scene, Androlphus makes like an ice hydra type deal, and we get to see Luna's dire wolf form for the first time. Which kind of leads a lot of people to... There were some theories about Luna and her ability to change form and use magic and operate the grimoire, or even use portals without the help of the grimoire. So people are thinking, is Luna not just any ordinary hellhound?
Oh, that could be an interesting theory. What kind of hellhound would she be then, do you think?
Know.
You don't know? You don't have any...
I have no idea. I don't know what else. I mean, she can turn into a direwolf. We've never seen her do that before.
Yeah, she can turn into a direwolf, she can turn into a human, and then she's got her normal hellhound.
Yeah.
But who's to say that other hellhounds don't have that power?
We know that other hellhounds can...
Vortex...
He can turn into a human.
Can turn into a human, so we know other hellhounds can do it. So who's to say if other hellhounds can't also turn into this sort of direwolf form?
Yeah, but I think the whole thing is that she is able to use magic, which I think is only reserved for people of a higher status.
Do you think perhaps maybe someone...
Like sinners can use magic, right?
I don't know about that.
Yeah, Alistair does like a shadow thing.
I think so, yeah. Yeah, they do. Yes, they do. They do. They have their own powers and they have their own magic and stuff.
Yeah. And the Goetia can use magic.
Quote unquote.
Yeah, and then and all the Goetia, the Sins, and of course Lucifer and the Morningstar family. But
do you think perhaps somebody of some sort of higher status might have had some sort of relationship with a hellhound and then Luna? Or like something in the bloodline along the way? Maybe.
I think because she looks like pure hellhound. I don't think she...
Yeah, so I don't...
is mixed. I don't see any other thing. And also, does the other hellborn demons that aren't like on the higher up level over imps, can they use magic? Like the envy demons or the succubi?
I don't know. I mean, the succubi have their succubus magic.
I mean, that's magic.
Which is, make people horny.
Okay.
That's what succubus do. I don't know what the envy demons do.
They're fish.
Fly?
It doesn't...
we can see them. We see them fly.
Underwater?
No.
Technically, anyone can fly underwater.
No. They just have wings and they can fly.
I thought they were like fish people.
But they also have wings and can fly.
Okay.
We see it in the musical episode.
In the musical... They're all musical episodes.
No, the one that's like 3 songs in the episode. Like 4 songs in the episode.
Oh, is it like Mammon's Great
musical
that episode
one.
featuring Fizzaroli?
That one.
Okay. Speaking of no songs, I think this episode has the most songs in any episode.
Like songs that they sing or just songs that play in the background?
Songs like play. There's Merry Sinsmas, Day by Day, I Will Be Okay, A Sinsmas Party, parentheses, I'll Murder You, and Rage of the Frost Marquis. There are 5 songs in this episode.
Okay.
So that's...
Wow.
I think that's a record.
Cool.
I think it has the most songs in any episode, even in Hazbin Hotel.
Wow. Well, yeah, because most of what happens in Hazbin Hotel is just the musical numbers.
Was interrupted by some lines of dialogue?
Yes.
I don't think so. Because Hamilton is like just musical number.
Well,
it's just musical number about the musical number about the musical number.
That's different.
Okay.
I meant that there's no non-diegetic.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Music.
I see what you're saying.
Like maybe there is. I don't remember anymore. It's been so long.
Yeah, isn't all the episodes like you mean non-diegetic? Where it just like play non-diegetic? Okay, because all the songs are diegetic.
All the songs are diegetic, but you're talking when you're saying like it has the most songs in it. You're mentioning songs that are non-diegetic.
Oh, okay, I get it. Moving on, let's go to another major revelation in this episode.
Yeah.
Where IMP celebrates Sinsmas. Later that night, Millie discovers she is pregnant.
Oh my gosh.
She's pregante.
She's pregante. She's pregananant.
Yes. But decides to conceal this fact from Moxie for some reason. Meanwhile, Blitz and Stolas bond over their families having rejected them. And that kind of ends the season.
And they have a cute moment where they dance.
And he's standing on like a rafter or something.
Standing on a rafter, super cute, and he hugs him. But Stolas doesn't hug him back, so I'm like, what does that mean? What's gonna happen?
So what do you think about the whole idea about Millie being pregnant but not wanting to tell Moxie?
I don't know if she doesn't want to tell Moxie. I just don't know if she's gonna tell him right then.
Okay. Do you think she doesn't want a kid?
I don't know. She seemed really conflicted about it. She had to call her sister and everything, and she was crying and saying that she didn't know what she was going to do. So
Sally Mae?
Yeah, Sally Mae was there.
Sally Mae made an appearance in an actual main film, main season, not a short.
Oh my
She's my favorite character.
Yeah, I know.
Is she not your favorite character?
No.
Why? Because she's trans?
No.
How dare you?
Whatever.
How dare-
I'm done.
No,
I'm
don't-
out of here.
No, don't go! Yeah, we kid. We have a lot of fun here on
No, we don't.
on the Devil in the Details podcast.
Nathaniel kids, and I hate it.
So
So
there's that whole thing that's going on with Sinsmas.
That's
And
right.
also laying the groundwork for what's going to happen in season 3.
Season 3.
Which is going to have 15 episodes.
15. That's a lot more than the previous 2 seasons.
Yeah. I think, what did Busy say? Like, she wanted... how many episodes? Like 50 episodes? The entire...
50 episodes for the entire
series?
I don't know.
I'm not 100% sure. But I know there was like a set number of episodes she wants for Helluva Boss.
Yeah.
We know that it's going to end at season 4.
It's going to end at season 4. We know that.
And we know that this lays the groundwork for the events of season 3, which will probably focus on Stolas and Blitz
and
reconnecting and healing, and also Stolas trying to get back to
Octavia. And then now we've got this new plot with Millie being pregnant.
Millie being pregnant and what that's going to do with her relationship with Moxie.
Yep.
And the fact that she kept it from him and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then Luna's there, I guess.
Well, we can see that Luna's becoming more, like, she's calling Blitz dad more.
Mm-hmm.
And we can see that she has friends now.
Yeah, like...
What do you mean, like...
Who else?
Her friends were there
Her
at the party.
friends' names.
I don't know their names. They're other Hellhounds.
Hellhound 1 and Hellhound 2.
And 3. I think there were 3 there.
And Hellhound 3.
That's right.
Wow, what great friends we have made.
Oh my gosh.
It truly is the reason for the season.
Absolutely.
Anyway, that's pretty much the entire thing of Sinsmas. Any notable songs that you liked?
From Sinsmas?
From Sinsmas.
I like the song that Octavia sang because it parallels Stolas' first song with the I Will Be Okay.
Mm-hmm. Was she the I'll Murder You at the Sinsmas party? Which one was that?
I'll Murder You at the Sinsmas party?
No,
I don't know.
Sinsmas party parentheses I'll Murder You?
Oh,
Or is it Rage of the Frost Marquis?
What are you talking about?
What's the song name?
I don't remember, but it's neither of those.
Oh. Day by Day?
Maybe?
Okay. Did you like the Mastermind song from the Mastermind episode? We didn't talk about that.
It was okay.
No. It's no House of Edmodius and no Cotton Candy. No 2 Minute Notice.
No.
No, it's none of those things.
It's not.
Come on.
It was fine.
You gotta step your game
It wasn't
up.
my favorite one, but, you know.
You gotta step your game up, guys.
Okay.
Anyway, let's talk about the storyline
Yeah.
that we were talking about.
Our continuation.
Do you remember where we left our intrepid heroes?
I sure don't. Maybe was it that Charlie had just told him that his plants, the plants part?
No, a lot of stuff happened after that.
What? I don't remember.
Remember him and Blitz went to the Dark Tapestry to find Azathoth?
Right. Yes, I remember that. And then they got awkward or whatever.
Yeah,
and then the ice demons come in.
Yeah, Androlphus's ice demons
before
came.
they can get like some answers, which kind of sucks.
Well, then again, Azathoth wasn't giving them anything.
Azathoth was just being really cryptic.
Well, Azathoth was like, "Why are you even here? Why don't you get out of here?"
And they were like, "Please," and he was like, well, "I killed 1,000,000 worlds just for me waking up."
Break it up.
And then the ice demons, and then they went to a different spot.
And then they went back to hell, I think.
Back to hell.
Okay. Let me see. I'm trying to still find where we were.
We really should have bookmarked it.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Okay. Holds a grimoire.
Yep.
Blah 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 blah
The
blah.
grimoire with the in space back to the hell.
I think we're here.
Okay.
We might have some overlap. So, yeah. So there's a brief moment of solemnity and trust. Stolas turns to Blitz with an uncharacteristically earnest expression. Blitz, which is what he says, I want you to know that I trust you more than anyone, and I want you to be my partner, not just in this, but in something greater. I want to be more than friends.
More than anyone.
Okay. Unfazed by the... Oh, okay. Blitz, caught off guard, raising an eyebrow, says, "Partner, you're laying it on a little thick, bird boy." That was great, Brandon Rogers.
No,
impression.
that was really bad.
That was great. Unfazed by the imp's sarcasm, Stolas presses on, his tone unwavering, and he says, "If I should pass before Octavia comes of age, I need someone to protect her, someone who will stand by her, guide her, shield her from Stella's wrath." His eyes lock into Blitz's sincere, unflinching, "And I believe that someone is you." Ow. You hear that? Clara just slapped me in the face.
Well, and it wasn't his face, it was his arm. Because he was pointing at me and I was pointing at him, so I smacked him.
In the face.
No, in the arm.
Okay, and have fun getting a letter from my lawyer.
Yeah, have fun getting a letter from my lawyer.
For what? I didn't do anything.
For defamation.
Defamation?
Yes.
I didn't even say anything defamatory.
You did. You implied some things.
That you slapped me? Which you did?
Which is
true?
He didn't slap you in the face, though. I slapped you in the arm. That's the specifics of it.
Okay. Well, my
Continue,
lawyer
please.
will argue in court that the phrasing I used is factual, and the judge will agree. So, we'll find that out. We'll figure that out when we get there.
I can't do that.
Yes, you can. So the imp scoffs, rolling his eyes in his usual dismissive fashion. "Oh, sure, because nothing screams irresponsible guardian like me. I don't have a daughter." Oh, right.
Wait, I do have a daughter.
Oh, yeah. Blitz retorts, is what he said. But beneath his sarcasm, the weight of Stolas' words begin to sink in. Blitz isn't joking. I mean, not Blitz. Stolas isn't joking.
Can you ever read correctly?
The trust he's placing on Blitz is real.
Yes.
And heavy. Blitz leans back, folding his arms as he considers the request. You do realize the kid hates my guts, right? You think she's gonna be thrilled to have me babysitter?
Don't do that. I don't know if they understood anything you just said right now.
What did I say?
What did you just say?
I said, you do realize the kid hates my guts, right?
Ah, that's what you said. Thank you.
You think she's gonna be thrilled to have me as her babysitter? Stolas' lips curl, which I didn't think he had. I thought he had a beak. Into a small, almost bittersweet smile.
His lips upon his beak.
His beaky lips.
His beaky lips.
Now give me a kiss on my beak lips. She doesn't hate you, Blitz. She doesn't understand you, but she will in time. And if there's one demon I trust to bring light into her life, it's you. Blitz flinches at the praise, clearly uncomfortable, but doesn't interrupt. Stolas' words carry a rare sincerity, and the kind that's hard to ignore. After a long silence, Blitz exhales, running a hand through his hair. I didn't know I had any. "All right, fine," he mutters. "I'm not making any promises, but ... I'll try for her. And if it means babysitting her bratty teenage butt, I'll deal with it." A flicker of relief crosses Stolas' face, and he offers a hand to Blitz. "Thank you," he says simply.
Wow.
Blitz hesitates for a moment before shaking Stolas' hand. "Don't get all mushy on me." He warms through...
The bargain is set.
Yeah, the warms through his tone is softer than usual. Oh.
Aww.
He warns, though his tone is softer than usual.
Ah.
So, with their arrangement solidified, Stolas conjures a portal back to Hell. Blitz steps towards it, pausing briefly to glance back at the Goetia Prince. "You know, you're putting a heck of a lot of faith in me for someone who's seen so much I screw up." Stolas chuckles lightly. Nyeh. His gaze warm but distant. "Perhaps, but I've always believed there's more to you than you let on." Blitz snorts. That's how he snorts. Shaking his head as he steps through the portal. "Don't say I didn't warn you." Stolas watches as Blitz disappears, his expression soft but tinged with longing. Once the portal closes, he turns back to his observatory, the weight of their conversation settling on him. Alone again, he gazes at the stars, his mind undoubtedly turning over the uncertain future ahead. And that's where pretty much the shattered star... Well, I'm calling it the shattered star storyline. That's pretty much where the shattered star storyline comes in, but it's going to start a new storyline called Extermination Day.
Ah.
And we kind of covered this storyline a little bit.
Yes.
With Azrael and Lute and all those people. Azrael is supposed to be the Adam.
Yes, the Adam of... Yes, I remember. I recall.
So we're going to go lean more towards the Stolas' perspective of this storyline.
Of that plotline. Okay, sure.
Yeah. So we're going into Extermination Day.
Okay.
So Stolas is thrust into a horroring nightmare. He changes after Octavia, who flees from him in terror. This is a nightmare.
Yes, this is his nightmare.
Her sobs echoing through the dreamscape. "Fia, please!" he cries out, his voice raw with desperation. But Octavia does not stop. She runs straight into Androphis, who smirks as he wraps her in a chilling embrace. "Don't worry, dear niece," Androphis says, mockingly, summoning his ice demons.
Ooh.
"I'll protect you from your failures of a father."
Oh my gosh.
Do you like that impression?
No.
Did I get the part?
Yeah, you got it.
Yes, I knew it. So the demons close in on Stolas, their jagged forms glistening with frost. Despite the best efforts, Stolas finds his magic weakening as the icy horde overwhelms him. "Are you not afraid of death? Are you, dear brother?" Oh yeah, in this one, Stolas and Androphis are brothers.
Yeah, that's weird.
Androphis sneers, watching Stolas struggle. "But it's not your fear, is it?" This is what he says. He strides forward, his tone sharp and cutting. "No, what terrifies you is losing her. Watching Octavia slip away from your grasp, knowing that you could have prevented it by enduring Stella's torment and playing an obedient little husband." Stolas falters under the weight of Androphis's words. As he fights off another wave of ice demons, Androphis continues, his voice dripping with malice. "You've already lost, Stolas. Fia's fate is sealed. She'll despise you, and I'll make certain of it. If she dares resist, well," he smiles cruelly, "I have ways of persuading her." You like that?
It's terrible.
How is that terrible?
Just the...
That's how he laughs, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the non-canon is kind of mimicking a little bit of the canon.
There's some mimicking going on from the canon.
So it looks like they kind of like Vizzy kind of pulled a bit from this. With Androphis is basically Octavia is under Androphis's like spell or whatever.
Yeah.
And she really dislikes Stolas. So with a snap of his fingers, Androphis summons razor-sharp ice shards that pierce through Stolas, delivering a fatal blow. The dream shatters as Stolas jolts awake, gasping for breath. Stolas sits in his observatory, clutching his hat in trembling hands, and the nightmare's cruel echoes linger, amplified by the memories of his conversation with Blitz and the looming fear for Octavia's fate. His unusually composed demeanor is fractured, his face etched with anguish. A sudden sharp knock at the door startles him, pulling him from his thoughts. Before he can respond, the door swings open with an air of authority. Standing in the doorway is none other than Paimon.
Paimon.
"Oh no." "Whirr," Paimon drawls, his tone laced with condensation. "I knock and knock, and my dear Sean can't answer the door for his daddy."
Oh no! Don't say that.
That's what Paimon says. Would you open the door for your daddy?
I mean, I do call my dad daddy.
How dare you? So Stolas glares at him, his voice cold. "What do you want?" Paimon strides into the room, his expression one of disdain. "What do I want? What I want, Stolas, is an explanation to why my son has become the laughingstock of the Ars Goetia. You squandered your potential, disgraced your family name, and fallen out of favor with Lucifer himself, who is totally cool. And he hates ducks. Right, Clara?
Yeah, he hates ducks.
In this one, he hates ducks.
Despises them. And anything nice, he hates it.
Yeah. So, Stolas snorts bitterly.
No. I don't think that's what a bitter snort sounds like.
How does it sound like?
Maybe like a
That's a scoff.
Well, fine, whatever. I don't know.
So, Lucifer has isolated himself from everyone. But you wouldn't know that, would you? Too busy basking in your self-importance. Ignoring the remark, Paimon presses on. And now I hear from multiple sources, credible ones I might add, that you're consorting with imps and dabbling in illegalities. And with Charlie knowing the truth, you've lost what few allies you had left. You're alone, Stolas, and opposing Lucifer. He leans in, his tone icy. Don't think for a moment I wouldn't injure myself with a cabinet.
I don't understand a word that you just
What
said.
did I say? How did I say?
I just heard, you're telling me you're a cabaret.
I forgot. Something snaps in Stolas, overcome with a surge of emotion. He rises to his seat, his voice trembling with anger. And me? You don't care about me. I spent my entire life being your political pawn, your trophy to parade in front of the other houses. All I ever wanted was to be loved, not as a Goetia prince, not as a tool, but as your son. Paimon scoffs. Now that's a...
Yeah, that's like a... Huh!
A cruel smile tugging at his beaky lips. Love. You are supposed to be useful, Stolas, not loved. Your significance begins and ends with how you can serve this family.
That is terrible.
Yeah. What, the voice or...
No, the words.
Oh, did I get the part then?
No!
No! The words cut deeper than any ice shard. Stolas' hands tremble, his talons digging into his palms. You never loved me, he says quietly. You only pretended to care when it benefited you. You're incapable of seeing me as anything other than your possession. Paimon sneers. And why would I waste time on someone so insignificant with his own bloodline? You are not even worth my disappointment, young Skywalker. The exchange leaves Stolas visibly shaken, his once fiery resolve dulled by his father's venomous words. As Paimon strides out of the room, Stolas slumps back to his chair, staring at the door long after it closes. The silence of the observatory swallowing him whole. So what do you think about this? Do you think... Because it seems like Paimon finally let out the reason that he really didn't like Stolas. He only wants to use him as a pawn.
Yeah.
In the non-canon. Do you think that's true? Do you think that would be shown in the canon as well?
I don't know. I mean, we haven't seen Paimon since that
The
flashback
flashback?
episode.
What is he doing?
Paimon? I don't know. I assume
Making pie?
Goetia royalty things.
In the moment of overwhelming emotion, Stolas loses control, his anguish manifesting as a surge of raw magical energy. The force shakes his observatory to its foundation, shattering glass, scattering books, and warping the room's dimensions in chaotic displays of power. His fury is palpable, and for the first time in years, Stolas challenges his father outright. His voice booming with rage, both rage and desperation. I will not be your pawn anymore, Paimon!
Yes!
Stolas roars, his magical aura crackling with intensity. You've stripped me of everything! My pride, my family's respect, my daughter's love, but I will not let you dictate my fate!
Yes!
Paimon, unimpressed by the outburst, watches with an air of icy detachment. You've always been an emotional fool, Stolas. This tantrum only proves it. He steps closer, his presence imposing. You have two options. Remain in your gilded cage and wallow in your failures to the end of time, or return to hell and face your trial for any indiscretions. Either way, you are no threat to me or anyone else. Before Stolas can respond, Paimon vanishes, his exit as abrupt as his arrival. Left alone amidst the wreckage of his once pristine observatory, Stolas collapses to his knees. The weight of Paimon's words, coupled with his own self-loathing, leaves him shattered and broken.
Aw. Poor baby.
Uh-huh. Now the cacophony of destruction echoes across hell as Extermination Day unfolds in its full cataclysmic chaos. Stolas, still reeling from his father's visit, sits despondently in his ruined observatory, clutching his grimoire. His despair is interrupted by the urgent buzzing of his phone. It's Blitz!
What does Blitz say?
Stolas! Blitz's voice is frantic. What?
Stolas!
Did you like that voice? Did you get the part?
No, but it was funny.
Is Brendan Rodgers retiring? Can I take over?
Just keep reading.
I can be there if he's sick. I can be like his understudy.
Just keep reading.
Okay. The sound of carnage roaring in the background. We've got a situation! Via's in trouble, and Drolfus Hauser at his palace!
Why are you doing that?
Doing what?
You know what?
Stolas' heart stops. What?
Okay, so Octavia's at Androphus' palace.
Right, and Extermination Day is going on.
And Extermination Day is going on.
Stolas' heart stops. What? He breathes, his voice trembling. He's taking Octavia? Why didn't you? I just found out! Blitz snaps, dodging a series of explosions as he weaves through the chaotic streets of Pentagram City. Moxie, Millie, and Luna are holding off a pack of exterminators, and I'm trying to grab something for the quote-unquote party at Androphus' place. But Via's running out of time. I guess in the non-canon they can kill Hellborns.
I guess. Because that's the thing that's happening right now.
Yeah, because they wouldn't be...
Maybe they're not supposed to, but they're gonna do it anyways this time.
Maybe. Because I know in the canon they're only supposed to target sinners. Right, Clara? Clara?
What?
In the canon they're only supposed to target sinners.
Yes.
And I know that it became null and void when Adam tried to kill Charlie, who's a Hellborn, and that's why Lucifer was able to intervene.
Right.
Because he broke the deal.
Broke the deal, yes.
But in this one, they're attacking because Moxie and Millie and Luna are fighting exterminators, which is odd since they
shouldn't be trying to kill them.
Right.
Because they're Hellborn.
Right. So he's talking about some kind of party at Androphus' place. So let's see what that's about. Clara? Let's see what that's about. The party at
Androphus' place.
Okay, so... Blitz, please! Stolas, please. His voice thick with desperation.
Yes, to help Octavia.
This is my fault. She's my responsibility. And my job is to fix your screw-ups, Blitz interrupts. His tone sharp, but not unkind, except it was very unkind.
Except extremely unkind.
You want her safe? Then get off your booty butt and meet me there. Before Stolas can respond, the sound of a metal screeching and a deafening crash cuts the call short. Blitz's line goes dead. Stolas stares at his phone, panic rising in his chest. Androphus' treachery, the Extermination Day carnage, and Blitz's cryptic mention of a quote-unquote party swirl in his mind. But one thing is clear. This is all bait. Androphus is luring him to Cocytus for a confrontation. You know what Cocytus is, right?
No, I don't. Explain that to me.
I believe it is from... It's from Greek mythology. It's a river of wailing in the underworld, and the Cocytus flows into the river Acheron, and on the other side of which lies Hades and the underworld. So, yeah.
I see.
Right. I believe it's also featured in the Inferno by Dante Alighieri. Where
Dante's Inferno, yes.
Yes. Where Cocytus is the ninth and lowest circle of hell. It's a name called...
The coldest.
Right. Yeah, and that in itself is divided into 3 sections. Cana and Tonera, Ptolemea, and Judeca. That's 4.
I see.
Actually.
That's 4.
So, yes. But yeah, so it's significant in those. Do you think we'll ever see Cocytus in the canon?
I don't know. It's very possible, since we've seen some of the other rings. But I don't. It doesn't seem like something that would be brought into the canon.
Yeah. I know that you said that you didn't want Vivzi to pull anything other than like vague Christian mythology.
Not really. I don't really think that she should bring in like the Eldritch stuff.
Or you don't want her to bring any like Greek mythology. Like no Cerberus.
Yeah.
So no Cerberus, no Cocytus, no Styx.
Yeah, it just doesn't like, unless you're planning on making some sort of like hodgepodge of like, oh, actually everything is kind of correct and they all kind of pull from other different things, but that just doesn't seem...
I think that can get really messy.
Exactly. That's why I think that, she's mainly been pulling from like vague Christianity, Bible stuff. So.
And some apocryphal texts and Jewish mythology.
Texts, yeah.
Because a lot of this is from Jewish mythology.
Yeah.
And like the other demons are from like the Testament of Solomon, and Solus is from the lesser key of Solomon. Mm-hmm. All right, so Stolas looks around his ruined observatory, his shattered sanctuary. His gaze falls on the grimoire, his one remaining link to his power and purpose. For a brief moment, doubt flickers in his eyes, but it then ignited by a memory of Octavia's laughter. Her trust and her love, a fire surges within him. No more running, he mutters, rising to his feet. His grip so the grimoire tightly, and his feathers bristling with resolve. No more hiding!
Yeah!
With newfound determination, Stolas tears open a portal to Cocytus. The icy winds whip through the room as he steps forward, his eyes blazing with purpose. For Octavia, for the one thing he refuses to lose, Stolas prepares to face his brother in the frozen depths of hell, no matter the cost. Okay, so I guess that explains why she chose Cocytus, because Cocytus is supposed to be full of ice.
Yes.
So I guess it would make sense why Adolphus would be there. It's supposed to be like a frozen lake. That's how it is in the Divine Comedy. Clara?
Yeah, a frozen lake on a Divine Comedy.
Yeah. So Blitz races through the chaos of Extermination Day. His movements sharp and deliberate. Despite the carnage around him, flames and the crackling of angelic energy light up the streets of Exterminators wreak havoc. After narrowly avoiding several near-death encounters, Blitz skids into IMP headquarters, his focus razor-sharp. He barrels into his office and retrieves the carmine-crafted blessing-tipped rifle.
Woohoo!
Did you hear me?
Yeah, the rifle.
Yeah, the carmine-crafted blessing.
Yeah, the angel-killing, demon-killing rifle.
Right. And the very weapon Stryker once used in an attempt to assassinate Stolas.
OMG.
A weapon Blitz had confiscated and tucked away for safekeeping. Cradling the rifle, Blitz turns to leave, but the sound of thunderous lightning crushing outside stops him in his tracks. He glances through the shattered window to see the sky illuminated by Azrael's devastating strikes. Azrael means Adam.
Yes.
Yeah, Azrael means Adam.
Yes.
In this case.
We know.
So the building groans under the force of the onslaught. With no time to waste, Blitz sprints out just as a blinding bolt of lightning obliterates the headquarters, the shockwave hurling him into the street. He groans but scrambles to his feet, clutching the rifle tightly and mutters, "Good thing I didn't leave that thing in the office. Oh, yeah." Now in the icy depths of Cocytus, Stolas materializes within Androphus' palace, his fury radiating off of him in waves. The frozen hallways gleam ominously under the cold light of chandeliers made from crystalline ice. His gaze burns with contempt as he strides forward, finally entering the grand chamber where Adolphus and Stella await him. At the center of the room stands Octavia, trembling and pale. Stella, gripping her arm tightly, a wicked smile across Stella's face as she raises a knife, its edge glinting with malevolent intent. "Well, well, Stolas," she purrs mockingly. "Finally decided to join us, have you?" "Androphus," Stolas growls, his voice low and rumble of fury. "Stella, release her now!" The anger in his tone is so palpable that the icy walls around him begin to crack, thin spiderweb fractures forming under the force of his rage.
Yes.
But Stella isn't phased.
Ugh, of course not. They're never phased.
A hint of nervousness flickers in her eyes, but she masks it with a venomous confidence. She hurls a blessed rope at Stolas' feet, the holy blindings glowing with the ethereal light that makes Stolas recoil slightly. Ah, she chides, tightening her grip on the knife and pressing it closer to Octavia. "You're gonna let us bind you, or ... She trails off, her smile widening as her knife edges closer to Octavia's neck. "Your precious little girl dies right here, right now." Do you think she would do that?
Kill Octavia?
Yeah.
I really don't know.
You don't think she would, like, put a knife to her throat?
I think she would, actually. Canon Stella? I think that she would.
No, okay.
She doesn't seem to actually care about her daughter.
She obviously views her as, like, a way to hurt Stolas.
Yeah.
And so now she's threatening to kill Octavia in front of Stolas. And then Octavia whimpers, her eyes wide, locked on her father. "God!" That's how she talks, right?
Yeah.
Stolas' heart retches, his fist clenching. He glares at Stella, his magic surging within him, but his hands fall to his sides as he takes in Octavia's terrified expression. "Let her go!" He growls,
Yes!
his
Get
voice trembling with a mix of anger and desperation. "You don't have to do this!"
That's too much.
That's good. I don't think it's enough. "Ooh, but I do," Stella replies. Do you like that voice? Dripping with magic. "You took everything from me, Stolas. My status, my power, my dignity."
Is that what Stella sounds like?
Yeah, that's
she
her
doesn't
voice.
sound like that at all.
Well, I'm a guy. I can't do a girl voice.
No, but she doesn't have that sort of more, like, that sounds way too soft-spoken and whatever.
Okay.
She sounds like this!
"And now I'll take her from you, I will.
There you go.
And she's very, like...
Stolas! That's what she sounds like, yeah.
"Stella, enough!" Androphus interjects, though his tone is more mocking than commanding. "Stella, enough! Oh, you hot piece of booty! Let me eat that booty!
Keep going.
The sanctified rope glows brighter, a tangible threat. Stolas' resolve falters as Octavia sobs, her voice trembling. "Dad, please don't let them hurt me." Is that how she talks?
I'm not even going to answer that.
Is it good? Was that good?
Please continue the story.
With a heavy, agonized sigh, Stolas lowers his hand. "Fine," he says through gritted teeth. "I'll do as you ask. Just don't hurt." Like that, Clara?
Yeah.
Thank you. So Androphus smirks triumphantly as his ice demons move in to blind Stolas with the blessed rope. The moment the holy bindings wrap around him, Stolas winces in pain, his powers suppressed by the sanctified magic. He falls to his knees, powerless and seething, as Androphus and Stella tower over him. "Good boy," Stella sneers, releasing Octavia, who collapses to the ground, shaking. Stolas looks at her with a flicker of relief, but his own predicament looms large. Bound and at their mercy, the Goetia prince can only wait for whatever cruel fate his captors has planned. What do you think is going to happen, Clara? He's now captured by Stella and Androphus. But at least Octavia's okay.
But at least Octavia's okay.
What do you think, Clara?
But at least Octavia's okay.
What do you think, Clara?
I sure hope he gets out of it, but I'm pretty sure he dies at the end of the story. So...
With Stolas bound and defenseless, Androphus wastes no time indulging in his cruelty. A sharp icicle materializes in his hand, and with a smug grin, he dives it into Stolas' shoulder. Stolas cries out, the pain searing, but Androphus merely leans in closer, savoring the moment of his suffering. Consider this payment, Androphus sneers, for embarrassing your family's name. Do you like that, Clara?
No.
You don't like that Androphus stabbed Stolas in the shoulder?
Of course I don't like that, but I also don't like your accent.
Oh, what's wrong with my accent?
It just doesn't sound right.
Okay, well, whatever.
I think you should stick to just reading normally because you can barely do that to begin with.
What are you talking about? I'm good at it. But the torment doesn't end there. Androphus steps aside with a theatrical flourish, gesturing towards Stella. Sister dear, the stage is yours. Stella strides forward, her eyes glinting with malice, clutching a blessed knife in her hand. She circles Stolas like a predator toying with its prey. This, she begins, her voice dripping with venom, isn't just about me, Stolas. It's about us. You destroyed our marriage. You humiliated me, you did.
You humiliated me.
And now you'll pay for it. What?
You'll pay for it.
Is that how she talks?
Yeah, totally.
She begins her sadistic work, inflicting deep, calculated wounds with a blessed blade.
Wow,
she's really, stabbing Stolas up. Each slice is deliberate, designed to maximize pain while prolonging his torment. Stolas grits his teeth, refusing to give her satisfaction of his screams. Instead, he lashes out with his words, throwing Stella's hypocrisy back in her face. You speak of our marriage as if it ever mattered to you, he spits through his pain. You never loved me, Stella. You only loved the image of control. His defiance strikes a nerve, and Stella's eyes flash with fury. She retaliates with a verbal barrage, her voice cold and sharp. And you squandered your chance at control, Stolas. The moment you climbed into bed with that filthy imp. Blitz doesn't love you. He's using you, like everyone else does. You'll never find true love. You're destined to be alone. What do you think about that, Clara?
I think that's just some manipulative behavior right there.
Well, she's literally just stabbing him to death.
Yeah, she's just stabbing him and being manipulative and being rude.
You're stabbing him to death and you have to be rude on top of that?
Rude on top of that. I mean, like, man, you're... How sadistic are you, you know?
Angered by his continued defiance, Stella unveils her next move. A plan so sinister even Androphus looks momentarily annoyed.
Oh.
She announces that Stolas' death will be staged as a suicide, preserving her reputation and silencing any questions about his fate. As Stolas writhes in agony, his body bleeding and broken, Stella and Androphus force the ultimate humiliation upon him. They coerce him into writing his own suicide note in the cold, icy ground.
Wow.
Bound and barely able to move, Stolas struggles with every letter, his trembling hands leaving streaks of blood alongside the words. The task is excruciating, but eventually he completes the grim letter. With the note finished, Stolas drags him into Octavia, who's been forced to watch the entire ordeal. Her eyes are wide with horror, tears streaming down her face as she struggles against Androphus' icy grip. Stolas looks at her, his own eyes glistening with tears. With the weight of her pain, breaks him more than any blade ever could. Via, he says weakly, his voice trembling, I tried to protect you from this, from everything, but I was always destined to die young, Clara.
Yeah, that is true. That's what he said.
Octavia shakes her head violently, sobbing, No, Dad! You can't! You can't leave me! What?
Keeps changing.
Stolas, his strength fading, musters a small broken smile. You're so much better than I ever deserved, Via. So much better than her. His gaze shifts briefly to Stella before returning to Octavia. I'm proud of you, my star, for being so unlike her, for being yourself.
Heartbreaking.
His words, tender and raw, pierced through the despair, leaving Octavia devastated but clinging to every syllable. The moment is fleeting, and as Stolas collapses back, his body trembling. Octavia cries echoes through the frozen halls. Stella and Androphus exchange cold, triumphant glances, their sadistic plan nearing completion. But even in the depths of his suffering, Stolas clings to the faint hope that this isn't the end. That somehow Octavia will rise above the horrors they've inflicted upon him. Now Stella, her twisted pleasure reaching its peak, grips the blistered blade tightly as she forces the broken Stolas to the ground. Her malicious intent is clear. She aims to behead him, turning his severed head into a grotesque trophy of her revenge. "Finally," she hisses, her voice dripping with sadistic delight, "I'll have something to truly remember you, boy." But before she can deliver the final blow, a deafening gunshot echoes!
Yes! A gunshot!
Through the palace, Stella's arm is blown clean off.
Let's go!
And she shrieks in pain and rage. The carmine-crafted, blessing-tipped rifle has struck,
That's what's
revealing Blitz standing defiantly at the doorway, smoke curling from the barrel. Behind him, Moxie, Milla, and Luna fled into the room.
Who's Milla?
I said Moxie, Millie, and Luna.
You said Milla.
Who's Milla?
I don't know.
Milla.
Who's Milla? Keep going.
Dispatching Androphus' icy minions with ruthless precision.
That's what I'm talking about. Those are my guys.
Okay. So Stella staggers back, clutching the bleeding stump where her arm once was. Her shrill screams of fury cutting through the chaos. "You filthy imps! You'll pay for this, you will!" What?
This is so funny.
That her arm got blown off?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm laughing at.
Do you want Stella's arm to be blown off by Blitz?
Yes!
No!
I do! I want her head to be blown off by Blitz.
No! Androphus, ever the coward, grabs Octavia and shields himself behind her trembling form. "Stay back," he snarls, his voice quivering. "You'll ruin everything!" Blitz, his aim unwavering, levels the rifle at Androphus, but instead of shooting him, he takes careful aim at the blessed restraints binding Stolas. With a precise shot, the restraints shatter, freeing the battered Goetia prince. Realizing the tides have turned, Androphus abandons any pretense of subtlety. In a last-ditch effort to assert control, he raises a blessed knife, aiming to strike Octavia. But before the blade can reach her, Stolas, his body trembling with pain, summons the last vestiges of his strength. With a flick of his hand, he uses telekinesis to seize Androphus' wrist, halting the knife in midair. "Not my daughter!"
Ah!
Stolas growls through gritted teeth, his voice weak but unyielding. Octavia, her fear giving way to a surge of determination, seizes the opportunity. With a furious cry, she taps into her latent powers, sending her uncle hurtling to the wall. The impact shakes the room, and Androphus crumbles to the ground, dazed and defeated.
I thought you were going to say dazed and confused.
No, that's dumb.
Okay.
Octavia stands over him, her chest heaving as she glares down at the man who dared hurt her family. Meanwhile, IMP continues her battle with Androphus' frigid minions, the room erupting into chaos. Stella, now clutching her bloody stump, rages incoherently, her fury directed at everyone and everything. Amid the chaos, Octavia rushes to her father's side, her heart pounding in panic at the sight of his grievous injuries. "Dad!" she cries, dropping to her knees beside him. "Are you okay? Please be okay." Stolas, barely clinging to consciousness, forces a weak smile. "I'm all right, my star."
He's not.
He whispers, his voice feeble.
Very much
"Don't
not okay.
worry about me." But Octavia can't be comforted.
No.
Tears streak her face
He's dying.
as she gently slings Stolas' arm over her shoulder, determined to get him out of this nightmare. "We're leaving," she says firmly, her voice shaking. "We're getting out of here. Together." With agonizing slowness, they make their way toward the palace's exit. The battle rages behind them, but Octavia forces on placing one foot in front of the other. Stolas' weight heavy on her small frame. However, they reach the palace courtyard. Octavia's resolve falters. A formidable horde of exorcists block their escape, Clara. Did you hear me?
Whoa. They're going to make their escape.
Yeah, but something is blocking their escape.
Blocking their escape.
What is it?
A formidable force.
No, you weren't listening.
I'm sorry.
The exorcists.
Oh, the exorcists! Yeah, they're a formidable force.
Okay, sure.
I'm sorry.
With their radiant weapons gleaming ominously in the cold light of the moon, they stand in perfect formation, an impenetrable wall of divine fury. Octavia freezes, her breath hitching. Stolas stirs weakly, glancing up at the menacing sight. Despite his pain, he sneezes. He squeezes her shoulder, offering what little assurance he can muster. But the reality is undeniable. Their path is blocked, and the exorcists are an obstacle that may be too great to overcome. Do you think they'll overcome it?
I think Stolas is gonna die.
But do you think they'll make it past the exorcists?
I don't know. They might. I mean, if Octavia can push them back.
All right. Well, let's give it a look-see. Unless you want to do a part 3.
No. Let's just keep going for now. We still got a couple minutes.
Okay. So as the horde of exorcists looms in the distance, their radiant weapons glinting menacingly.
Glinting.
Yes. Octavia realizes they have no chance of escaping on their own. Her heart pounding. She gently lowers Stolas into the frozen ground. Her hands trembling as she retrieves a flare gifted to her by Izzy, who is Cherry Bomb's dad. Right, Clara?
Yes.
You didn't even hear what I said.
No, Izzy is Cherry Bomb's dad.
Right. She hesitates, knowing the kind of help, quote-unquote, the flare summons. But with no other option, she fires it into the sky. The flare's fiery streak pierces the night, illuminating the area. High above, Izzy, Rum, and Stryker, perched atop their mounts, spot the signal. Izzy's lips curl into a twisted grin. "Ah, there it is," he says, his voice dripping with malice. "Our invitation to the party."
Let's go. Is that your Australian accent?
Yeah, he's Australian.
It's really bad.
No, it's good. Back in the ground, Octavia slings Stolas' arm over her shoulder once more, her determination unwavering. "We need to keep moving," she murmurs, half to herself, half to her father. Her steps are labored, the weight of Stolas and the urgency of the situation pressing down on her. She pushes forward, trying to put as much distance as possible between them and the palace. But their escape is short-lived. With a sinister wave of his hand, Androphus summons a towering wall of ice that encircles the palace grounds. The translucent barrier glows faintly, casting an eerie light on the trapped pair. Octavia's heart sinks as she realizes they are completely surrounded. Androphus descends gracefully from above, landing in front of them with a triumphant smirk. His cyan pupils glow with icy malice, and the snowflake-like tail, feathers of his full demon form, fan out behind him. An imposing display of power. "Did you really think you could escape me, dear brother?"
Oh, great.
She sneers. "There's nowhere left to run." Octavia turns to her father, panic in her eyes. "Dad, you can't fight him. Look at you. You're hurt. He's in his full demon form, he is. You'll..." Stolas cuts her off, his voice soft and resolute. "There," he whispers, placing a trembling hand on his shoulder. "Find Blitz. Stay close to him. He'll protect you."
Yes.
Tears well in Octavia's eyes as she shakes her head. "I'm not leaving you. Not like this." But Stolas gently pulls her into a brief embrace. "You're strong, my star. Stronger than I ever was. Trust me, and trust yourself." He pulls back, his eyes meeting hers with a flicker of warmth beside the dire situation. "Go."
Don't do that again.
Don't do what?
For all of you people who'd like to hear, Nathaniel has just done this weird thing where he's flicked his tongue at me through, like, an oval-shaped mouth. It was nasty.
Because I was saying go.
He was saying go, and then he flicked his tongue out, and it was really
cool.
bad.
It was cool. Okay, so Reluctantly, Octavia takes a step back, her heart breaking as she watches her father rise unsteadily to his feet. Stolas straightens his posture, ignoring the searing pain in his body, and turns to face Androphus. His gaze is unwavering, his determination unbroken. Androphus chuckles darkly, spreading his arms in mock invitation. "What's this? The broken bird thinks he can fight." His smile twists into a sneer. "Come, brother, let me show you what true power looks like." Stolas says nothing, his focus entirely on the enemy before him. His feathers bristle and his remaining magical energy begins to crackle faintly behind him. Despite the overwhelming odds and the crushing weight of his injuries, he takes a defiant step forward, prepared to face Androphus in the battle he knows he may not survive. So what do you think of that?
I think he's gonna die.
You don't think he's going to beat Androphus?
Maybe he'll beat him, but I know for a fact he's gonna die at the end.
Okay. We'll leave it there for now.
All right, sounds good.
So, what do you think so far about this plot line?
I think that we can already see certain parts of it being incorporated into the main story, like the canon story. But based on how things are going, I really don't think that we're going to get much more of it, like, translated to the main.
Yeah. So you don't think that Stella will try to kill Octavia?
If she does, it's going to be really bad.
And also Blitz and IMP will come in and shoot her arm off.
You know, if there's one thing that I want to happen, it's that.
If
there's one thing that I want to take from the non-canon to place into the canon, is that I really want Blitz to shoot Stella somewhere.
Okay. All right. Well, that's part 2 of the Shattered Star storyline.
Hold on. What about you? What would you like to see from the non-canon?
From what we've heard, not a lot of stuff has happened that we've gone through. What really just happened is Paimon shows up. Mm-hmm. He says, "Wow, you stink. Lucifer hates you."
Would you like to see that happen?
I do think that there should be some kind of confrontation between Stolas and Paimon because I think there's some unresolved conflict there. And then Stolas is told that stuff is going down in Cocytus, which I don't think we'll see Cocytus. He goes there, and then the whole thing with Stella and all that kind of stuff. I do think there should be this ultimate showdown between Stolas, Androphus, and Stella, where Stella shows her true colors to Octavia, and she's like, "Oh no, you stink," and then she ends up with Stolas, and they're all a big happy family with her and Blitz. But because she seems to not like Blitz very much, so
well, I think it's true what Stolas said is that she just doesn't understand him yet, but maybe with time.
Well, she basically sees him as a homewrecker.
Yeah, but I mean, after seeing her mom like that, I feel like if that happened to me and I viewed my dad's current lover as a homewrecker, and then my mom tries to kill me, I'd be like, you know what? I understand, Dad.
I think that would be.
I understand.
I think that would be the only way that Stella would probably forgive Stolas is if Stella shows her true colors to Octavia.
Which, I mean, I feel like we can already see those true colors with the way that she is reacting to Stella's trying to call her.
Really? Does she do that to Octavia in front of her face?
Yeah, she literally pulls the phone away from Octavia and be like, "Look, he's calling. How stupid!"
To Octavia? That's stupid.
No. I mean, she pulls the phone away from Octavia, and Octavia's there in the room, but she's talking to Androphus.
Okay.
But Octavia can hear them mocking Stolas for trying to contact his daughter.
That's kind of weird. You shouldn't, you know that? Well, I guess she has to, literally have a knife to her face.
I guess. All right, well, that's it for this episode.
Yeah, ready for part 3?
We're going to go into another part 3 for these long non-canon stories.
Yeah, but it's totally cool.
But yeah.
All right, I've been Nathaniel Avila.
And I've been Clara Avila. Thank you so much. for listening to The Devil in the Details. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to a Vision podcast, home of wacky talkies, The Kingdom, Evil Exists, and many more.